Next, we are going to stay with the NFC South. Yay. Lions at Saints, in which is a polarizing game for me because it's the two teams I like. I hate this. I hate when they play each other. All right, quarterbacks. That's where we're going to start. It is a great matchup for Derek Carr, fifth best. Low end matchup for Goff at 20th. Having said that, Goff I still have at 11, Derek Carr at 18. And as I said, we've seen what it gets like when we're down at 20. So that should indicate how much faith I have left in Derek Carr. He is 18. The cliff seems to be 19 or 20. So he is the break glass in case of emergency quarterback for now. But you guys.
Yeah, Detroit's defense is atrocious right now. So, like, I don't actually mind firing up Derek Carr, but yeah, like, what's the ceiling, right? Like you're talking about. And on the flip side, Goff has struggled recently, where these past 2 weeks where he's been turnover prone, he's just not been the same quarterback he was earlier in the year. I still have him ranked higher, but like they're really close in rankings. I think Goff's 11 and Carr's 16. And honestly, don't feel great about either one. That's kind of where I'm at with his QBs this week. It's rough. But with the buys, you're starting either one. Like I think you're happy to have them when it comes out to it.
We have streaming in that
just the Zach Ertz news.
Yes, as if I wasn't already high enough on Trey McBride. Zach Ertz was just released.
Yeah, no surprise. Trey McBride's the GOAT, baby.
He was released according to, I don't know if this is...
I got it from Fantasy Pros.
No, I'm saying I don't know if it's just trying to hype him up, but released it in order to seek a job with a contender because he's certainly on his last legs. But that does mean that maybe he's healthy and finally, coming off the IR. So I don't know, but yeah, fire up Trey McBride.
And I was divorced I was divorced in order to start a relationship with Scarlett Johansson. Let's see how that works
out. He's gonna sign with the Giants or something.
Listen, man.
Patriots, they love that shit.
And you land in the Giants or whatever that phrase is. For quarterbacks here, Goff, yeah. I mean, it's more about the running backs. We'll talk in a second. For Carr, he's might be without Olave this week. He's probably without Shaheed this week. It's not looking pretty, so I'm avoiding if I can.
It is pretty if you're planning on streaming A.T. Perry this week.
I mean, is it though? It's not. No.
We'll talk about the tight ends.
Johnson.
They're both extremely high. Both tight ends this week.
Hill.
Yeah, both are top 10. It's bonkers.
Alvin
what could go wrong?
Kamara, right? 26 receptions.
Bump over, honey. Yeah.
Running backs. We have 21st best matchup for Detroit, 30th best for the Saints. So not great for Kamara. I would assume he's still my highest ranked. He is. Kamara is still 5th for me. I go all the way down to 16th for David Montgomery. Oh, never mind. Gibbs is higher. Gibbs is at 10. So I have 3 top 16 backs in this week. That could be an indication, obviously, that we have 6 teams on bye, but I think there's at least 3 RB2s in this game, if not a couple of RB1s.
For sure.
Could be 3 RB1s.
Yeah, it could. Honestly, it could work out that way. Gibbs is just money for fantasy. Like, he doesn't even have to have a giant role, but like his role is elite. David Montgomery, if he gets a touchdown, his role is elite. Like, both these guys are top 15 moving forward, like every week. And Kamara, they look like we're talking about. They have nobody else on the Saints. Literally nobody. Like, their wide receiver room is just Perry and the ghost of, I can't even tell you who's on the practice squad right now. Some scrub that like nobody wants to talk about. So yeah, it's Kamara like all day. He's RB2. Those guys are both top 15. So yeah, I'm riding with them.
Oh yeah, I mean you can't hate it. And David Montgomery is doing what David Montgomery does. He's getting 15 touches. He's being efficient with them, and he's getting in the end zone. He's only not scored in one game that he's played this year. I mean, you just fire him up. He's a near lock for a touchdown. He's got that Jamal Williams role that Jamal Williams doesn't have anymore, and we see how terrible he's looking, right? David Montgomery is just in the sweetest spot in football, and I like Monty, Gibbs, and Kamara. If I had to order them, it'd be the opposite of that. Kamara, Gibbs, Monty, but still, you got a safe floor with Montgomery there.
Yeah, we're seeing Monty. He's like a plus version of what Jamal Williams was last year because he gets receiving work too. It's like she's just a better player.
Yep.
Is it possible like Detroit Lions are just the fantasy gold mine for like cheap running back goal line touchdowns every year?
Offensive line,
they have a ton of them.
Yeah, that's true.
It's fantastic.
It's the same thing as Philadelphia, except the difference here is Jared Goff doesn't vulture all the goal line. Could you imagine how great DeAndre Swift would be if they didn't have Jalen Swift doing the tush push, Jalen Hurts to do the tush push there and take all those touchdowns? Good God.
Well, Well, imagine if Anthony Richardson were healthy, right? Zach Moss would never be a thing. So,
Whoa,
just you know,
baby, whoa.
it just is what it is.
Or Jonathan Taylor next year.
Good God. Oh, God, that's terrible. So, all right. Wide receivers, sixth best matchup for the Saints for whoever plays. Someone off the practice squad is going to have a great week. 27th best matchup for the Lions. I am sure I have ARSB high. I do. He's third. My next best player in this game for receivers is going to be way down. A.T. Perry at 45 is my next best. And then I have JMO at 49 for the Lions. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I have a lot of him out rankings, but I don't expect him to play. He's like wide receiver 16. If he's in, like I'm super thrilled to have him in because that would be a saving grace for Derek Carr. But yeah, like we're getting really down to it. I'm like slowing down the rankings. And I'm like, oh yeah, Khalil Freeman, like Josh Reynolds, all these guys are ahead of all the Saints dudes. Like it's Keith Kirkwood is the next highest like Saints wide receiver.
Yeah.
Can you tell me who Keith Kirkwood is? If you can, you're a bigger degenerate than me. So yeah, good luck with that.
I'm a Saints fan, so I knew who that was, but still.
Yeah. But also Lynn Bowden got 64% of snaps last week. So they're just doing whatever they can to kind of stem the tide. We'll talk about the tight ends, like you said, in a minute.
All right. And with that seamless transition, the tight ends. Good matchup here for Laporta. Good matchup for Taysom Hill. Juwan Johnson actually got a lot more play last week. Sam Laporta I have at 3. Taysom Hill I have at 8. And Juwan Johnson at 15. Loaded tight end situation in this game. The DSTs, we have the 17th best matchup for the Lions and the 24th best matchup for the Saints. I have neither inside the top 12. I have the Lions at 14 and the Saints all the way down at 25 out of 26 teams. The Saints just cannot stop anyone. Well, they're banged up too. Lattimore's been out. Sorry, that was the DST of ranking I read. They're both mediocre for DST, but regardless. The kickers, they are 17 and 24 there. And I don't know if I probably have Riley Patterson inside the top 10. I do at 9. Riley Patterson at 9 and Blake Groupie all the way down at 16. So it's not a pretty situation aside from the tight ends, but you can start the kicker Riley Patterson. Other than that, I don't think I want to start either defense here. Both kind of scary.
No.
When's the time we had 3 running backs and 3 tight ends going into a game, all ranked on the top 15 in the game? Like that's pretty bonkers. Mm-hmm. And like one wide receiver, it's such a weird game, this one.